The India versus New Zealand World Cup semi-final was a spectacle. Over 700 runs scored. Lot of wickets were taken by the brilliance of Mohammad Shami, 7 for 57. But prior to the match and the subsequent aftermath of the India versus New Zealand final, it has been dominated by one thing. That is the 22-yard strip that was there at the Wankhede. Now, prior to the toss, just about a couple of hours prior to the start of the match, there was a major confusion and controversy with reports coming in that the pitch where the match was originally supposed to be played was changed. Then the match was played on a used deck, the one which we saw South Africa and England playing. And then the Western media in particular lapped the story up and saying, how could this be done? How could the ICC suddenly change the pitch just hours before the toss? However, one thing is very clear in all this. There is no written law, no written rule that you have to play the semi-final on the same pitch or on a used pitch. It can be on any pitch. The ICC had to release a statement because of this. They stated that there was a problem in that pitch, and suddenly, with, if you have to look at it, with cooperation from the MCA, the Mumbai Cricket Association, the BCCI, everything was deliberated upon. The ICC were kept in the loop, and because of that, they changed the pitch. Now, remember the discourse that the Western media has been going about it when it comes to India and the BCCI in particular. This pitch changing issue has just given them some more ammunition. And one of the individuals who's had a say on this is former England batter Mark Butcher. Now, Mark Butcher, speaking to Wisden, made some points about the BCCI and the ICC in this latest pitch change fiasco. He stated, growing perception that the ICC is nearly sort of an executive branch of the BCCI. That's the term he's used, executive branch of the BCCI. When things like this happen, it does very little to change people's opinion. Now, remember one thing about this entire issue. There is a conspiracy theory that is going around outside the Indian cricket circle. Oh, the BCCI are power-hungry monsters. Financial clout is ensuring other nations don't develop. Oh, the BCCI change the pitches, get GPS inside cricket balls, ensure that there is technology by which it favors them. There is nothing concrete about that yet. The press release stated that the MCA, the BCCI and all spoke with the ICC. Now, what was the problem? The ICC stated that it has happened in the past and there is no issue about it. But the problem is Andy Atkinson's email. When these kind of things happen and then you suddenly sidestep the ICC pitch curator, then there is something at hand here. Because remember one thing, it didn't happen in 2019, it didn't happen in 2015, it didn't happen in 21 or 22. It happened in 2023. Last minute the pitch was changed. That is the real issue. Not the fact that, okay, was it against the rules? Was it BCCI showing off its power? No. There is no written rule. And because of that, growing perception that the ICC is nearly executive branch of the BCCI, because it had to happen in India, because it had to happen in the semi-final, it has given more ammunition to those allegations at this point. To have Andy Atkinson, the ICC pitch inspector, apoplectic at the way the whole thing had gone about, doesn't do much to change people's thoughts that the ICC basically does what the BCCI wants. Now remember, the BCCI MCA, with some consultation from the ICC, ensured that the pitch was changed. Morally, you can argue, maybe it might be wrong. But morally, if you have to look at your judgment, there is no written rule. You can play on whatever pitches you want. Sunil Gavaskar, who's been on Sports Today regularly, he stated that you have to play on the pitch that is there. Now, India, because it is a rising power center of cricket, and because of the financial revenue that they bring in through broadcasting, through all their players' appeal, now the Western media wants to make its cake and eat it too. Whenever the West wants India to come, they say, oh, India, India, India. But then when they criticize India, they are not happy with the success that this Indian cricket team is currently having. So they are also unhappy with the fact that the old powers are not in power anymore, like England or Australia. That's what Sunil Gavaskar reckons. Now, Andy Atkinson, the pitch curator, believes that he was sidelined. And that is why it brings into question, is this entire issue really necessary? Because now the perception that the Western media have built upon, and a lot of people are going to comment upon it, is the fact that the ICC basically does what the BCCI wants. So ICC equals the BCCI. It's given ammunition to the trolls who do not know the context, who do not know the foreground or the background of it. The foreground is, or the background is there was a problem in the pitch. The problem is that it had to happen in the semi-final of a World Cup. But because it happened before the toss, there were adequate preparations made, you could play on the adjoining wicket. It proved to be a googly. That pitch became much better for batting. So, as far as skills is concerned, there was no compromise on that. No rules were broken. Then why must the Western media raise an issue about it? Sure, you can argue on both sides. It seems like a hollow victory and the timing seemed suspicious. My only issue is that the timing seemed suspicious in the 11th hour. But were rules contravened in that? No. But Mark Butcher does make the point, like saying that India are the best team in the tournament. Is there any need whatsoever for there to be any sort of shenanigans whereby the gloss gets taken off? The gloss might not have been taken off. See, it's a 70-run win. India achieved a comfortable victory. But the pre-match build-up was dominated by it. And forget about nationalistic fervor or patriotic fervor. At the end of the day, what are the facts? The facts are the problem persisted on the pitch and then it had to be changed. But is there written anywhere that you cannot play on the same wicket or you have to play on a different wicket? There is no rule. It is a sportsman's illusion that the West are involving into. That, okay, since we have played on different pitches, knockouts have to be a total clean slate. It is this definition that needs a bit more flexibility. Even 2022, if memory serves me right, the semi-final that India and England played was on a used wicket. So why must you play on an entirely different deck? If memory serves me right, that is. So, whether Mark Butcher is right, whether he is right in saying that the ICC equals BCCI and that the ICC does whatever the BCCI wants them to do, revenue power, financial clout, broadcaster appeal, that is the way India is. But is it good? Is it bad? Was this pitch fiasco necessary? You can write to us in the comments below, and thank you so much folks for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Straight. Tap that bell icon so that when we go live, and don't forget we're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.